Oliver is a Great Western 14XX tank engine who works on Doug's branch line with his two auto coaches, Dulcie and Isabel, and brake van Toad. Before becoming part of the Northwestern fleet, Oliver was rescued by Douglas. He had made a narrow escape from his small line on the other railway, which had been in the process of modernisation. A few years had passed now, and Oliver had become used to the life on Sodor, but was still grateful to all who had helped him reach safety. At the sheds one day, the Fat Controller arrived just as the engines were about to head off to work.
As all of you know, a film crew were here last month making a documentary on the railway.
I hope they got my good side.
As I was saying, the documentary has now been released on TV and video just this morning.
Does that mean thousands of people are going to be able to see my interview?
Yes, Thomas.
Past my buffers. I mean, we're going to be famous.
We're already famous. We've had books written about us, remember? Well, I'm famous anyway.
All of the engines whistled happily. They weren't used to being on TV.
The Northwestern Railway, a steam heritage site or main line you might ask. The railways that serve the Isle of Sodor are now the only ones that still use steam as a primary form of traction, after British Railways modernised their stock in honour of diesel and electric. Some of Sir Topham...
Wait, hold on. I recognise that engine. Seems familiar. It can't be. There's plenty of 14XX engines around. Unlikely that's the one I'm thinking of.
Their stock in honour of diesel and electric. Some of Sir Topham Hatt, controller of the railway's engines, have been on the line since its earliest days. Like this one for example, number 1, the well-known Thomas the Tank Engine.
Well, I was built in Brighton at the turn of the century, but I've worked here all my life. First as station pilot and now as main engine on the Farquhar branch. It's the most important part of the whole network, and I'm relied on to be the most useful I can be for my passengers.
However, unlike Thomas, some engines have only lived on the island for a few years, after being salvaged from the modernised mainland. Engines such as numbers 9 and 10, Donald and Douglas, who used to be numbered 57646 and 7. Also, engines like XBR number 1436, Oliver, who arrived complete with Great Western Autocoach and 20-ton brake van.
X number 1436? No wonder I recognise him. That's my engine. He was meant to be scrapped. How could he have survived? That's it. I'm heading back to Sodor. Getting back the engine that's rightfully mine. He'll be worth a fortune in scrap value.
Have you seen that documentary yet, then, Oliver? I've heard you've got a small part in it.
Yes, Edward, I have. I'm glad too. It's strange how so many people take an interest in steam engines, even when most of them have been sent for scrap. We're getting more attention from enthusiasts than ever.
Speaking of attention, look at that. Gordon looks furious.
The engine sat at the platform confused as the big blue engine pulled sharply into the station.
What's up, Gordon? Got intimidated by the other railway diesels again?
Intimidated, yes, but not by any diesel. This stupid passenger on board my train said steam engines were outdated. Only really useful for the scrap pile. I'll show him what's outdated. No diesel will be able to match my speed.
Wow. What would make someone say things like that to us? Must be someone with a grudge against steam, I suppose.
Probably. You can't please everyone, young Oliver. You'll learn that with time. Anyways, you'd best be off. Your signal's clear now. See you later.
You're in a good mood, aren't you? Why the fat face?
What's your tone, little Thomas? You don't know what my day's been like, anyways. That's who's made me cross.
If it isn't the well-known child's truly terrible toy train Thomas the Tank Engine. Still working on the railway as if they were running a museum. This place has serious problems.
Well, excuse me, sir. That's quite rude, don't you think? I've only just met you and...
It was meant to be rude. If I don't put you conceited death traps in your place, then I doubt anyone else will. Now, will one of you two show me to your controller's office? I'm due a meeting with him urgently.
Hesitantly, the two showed him over to the office where the Fat Controller was eating his lunch. He passed in the door unexpectedly and interrupted the Fat Controller devouring a cream cake.
Oh my. Good morning, sir. I'm afraid you've caught me at a bad time. Could you come back later?
Bad time or not, I'm afraid this is a matter I need to attend to now. I'm inquiring about your number 11, Oliver.
Yes, okay. Are you a Great Western fan then? I prefer the old LMS myself. I was a good friend of Sir William Stanier.
You could say I'm a fan, actually. Young Oliver used to, and legally, is a part of my fleet. He worked under my jurisdiction on a private branch of British Railways, and today I've come to claim him back.
So, you're a controller too? Well, I'm afraid I can't help you, sir. He's not for sale. A few years back, he showed up at our works for deeming a salvation, shall we say. Under my jurisdictions, he's staying on this railway.
What do you think they're arguing about, Gordon? They sound pretty annoyed.
Don't know, maybe he's not paid for his order of fast food burgers.
I don't care if he's for sale or not. You stole him from me, and now I've come to take him back. When he arrived here, along with auto coach and brake van, this railway signed no legal documents to say that he was legally bought. I'd give up now, Topham. You don't want me to get the authorities involved now, do you?
Could I interest you in a complimentary postcard of Oliver on the Little Western?
You're kidding me, right?
Security, I have a drunk passenger in my office. Could you send for someone to take him away immediately?
What was that about, sir? May I ask?
Don't worry, Thomas. Just a wacky railway enthusiast hoping to buy an engine for free. No chance of that. Now, James, I need a lift up to Kildane, if you please.
No problem, sir. This train's due to stop there anyway. I'll get you there.
James's brake coach had not left the shelter of the platform before there was a commotion at the booking office. The manager came running up the platform.
Where's he gone?
Who?
Your controller, idiot! Where's he gone? I hadn't finished with him yet.
Well, he said he was heading up to Kildane on the 10-3.
Do you know if it stops anywhere else?
James said it stops at Wellsworth, but I don't know where else. You'd probably be better talking to the booking clerk about this. Oh, you've gone.
They had a perfect run up until halfway. Crisp bright air surrounded the countryside of Sodor, and James kept up a good speed all the way, and it was only a matter of time before they coasted into Wellsworth Station. Things started to happen all at once as James rolled to a stop. Half a dozen policemen stood waiting on the platform, and halted anyone who got off the train. The Fat Controller clambered down, annoyed.
Something wrong, officers?
Yes, sir, I'm afraid there is. Would you happen to be Sir Topham Hatt?
No, I'm Pat the postman. Who else would I be?
Sorry, sir, but your name has been accused of theft of railway property. If I find reason to believe this, I shall have to take you under arrest.
Theft of railway property? I own a railway, sir. I don't think I'd be stealing anything around here.
We record saying you've acquired a vintage steam vehicle over the past 5 years illegally. Would this be true, sir?
Questioning took some time, and the train had to be sent away. But Edward, who had overheard the conversation, was worried. Once everything was cleared up, the Fat Controller strolled over to him.
What was all that about, sir? If you, excuse me for asking.
I don't mind you asking. At least you're an engine I know will believe me. Someone has accused me of stealing Oliver from the other railway, and I think I have a good mind to guess who it is. This ex-manager from the other railway asked me earlier if he can claim him back.
But you refused.
Of course I refused. I'll never sell any of my engines off. You've lived and worked here longer than I have books being written about you, lasted 2 world wars, and lived to tell the tale. It's going to be costly to keep you all in service, I can tell, but it'll be worth it.
I'm glad to hear it, sir, and thank you. We're very grateful to have a controller who understands engines. I can't imagine what life is like for the engines on the other railway.
Oliver did the right thing to run all the way here. If only this manager would see things in the same light. Now, Edward, I still need to get up to Kildane, if you please. I believe you have a goods heading that way.
Yes, sir. Climb aboard. Oh, and sir, this manager, you don't think now that you've refused he'll take matters into his own hands? As in, take things too far?
I doubt that's likely. After that interrogation with the police not going to plan, he'll more than likely give up. What's the worst he can do? I'm not shelling Oliver, and that's final!
Sir Topham Hatt had made up his mind, but so had the manager. It was clear he would not be able to reclaim Oliver no matter what.
There has got to be another way. Just think of all the money I'll get for scrapping that worthless load of junk. If only I could.
Are you speaking to me, or are you talking to yourself, sir?
Oh, thank goodness. An up-to-date engine. About time too.
You seem a bit deluded, sir. May I ask what you're talking about?
Something you might be interested in. One of my engines has taken refuge here, and I'm trying to take him back, as well as a brake van and a coach too. I'm in need of money, you see, and 40 tons may go down well with the breaker's yard.
An iron kettle, is it? Oh, I take back what I said then. Can I help you out? I'd like to show this railway a thing or two about revolutionising.
There'll be no need for help if I can think of how I can get him back to my territory.
Well, then just steal him. Can't be that hard.
I don't know which island you think you're on, but you can't just steal a steam engine from this railway without anyone realising.
Not all the way from the kettle sheds at Tidmouth, no. But get an open opportunity when the steam ports are the other end of the island, we can slip him across to the mainland with ease.
Seems plausible enough, but even then there'll still be engines and railway workers scattered everywhere. How would we take an engine before their eyes?
Oh, all in good time. You leave it to me. I'll take it over from here. I've got a friend that might be able to help.